Hi guys, welcome to Christian Mama. Today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 reasons why I am voting for Donald Trump. This is not going to be religious in nature so much as as a mom, I'm talking to other moms, as a female American, top 5 reasons why I am voting for President Trump. Number 1, increased academic focus. So it is no surprise that all of our test scores in our education system are down, especially see picture, with math and reading scores are the lowest they've been in decades. This is a real problem as to where I feel like the Biden administration and those like him have been overly focused on bathrooms and pronouns and how kids feel when school should not be about how we feel and our feelings. I believe school is for learning, reading, writing, arithmetic. We need to get back to focusing on academics at school and leave the rest of it to after school time. Leave things of that nature outside of school and focus on learning. We must raise up our next generation to be hardworking Americans that are smart, not failing in reading and writing. Number 2 reason why this mama is voting for Donald Trump is because I believe we have more religious freedom. I have seen with the Biden administration, there has been lots of censoring, especially when it comes to beliefs. I'm not okay with this. One of the examples I want to give, just really shocking, was an Indiana couple who is Catholic, had their child taken away from their home and placed in a gender-affirming home because the parents would not call this child by the name it wanted to be called by. This is not the place of our government. It is always, government should be for families, not against families. It's absolutely ridiculous. Trump will not allow this. He's not going to support this and will make whatever means he can in his presidential power when taken office to make sure that things like this don't happen. There's an article right here. I will also post the link in the comments if you want to read that article. That is still an ongoing thing. The couple had to appeal to the Supreme Court, and as far as I know, they are still waiting. So can you imagine having your child ripped out of your home because you don't agree with what they're doing? This is a religious beliefs issue, and I do not believe under any circumstances that President Trump would support children being removed from their home, especially when it goes against the religious beliefs of the parents. In 2020, many churches were forced to close down, were persecuted. Even when they tried to reopen after 2020, Trump supports churches to be open even when the world is having a crisis. Number 3 reason why this mama is voting for Donald Trump: more secure borders. When I think about the border, the thousands or millions of immigrants that have crossed over illegally, this is a big safety issue. Even as a past nurse, my mindset is that it's a safety issue. It needs to be shut down as soon as possible. And then Congress needs to do their job and make rules and laws so that people can come here legally. I am all for people coming here legally. There have been many, many millions of people that have come here before this illegal surge. They are proud Americans now, and they did it the right way. I believe Trump clearly is in favor of secure borders, is in favor of border security, and will do whatever that we need him to do to make us safe. I listened to his border speech that he did just like a week or 2 ago. Here's the picture of it. I will link that in the description section down below if you'd like to listen to what he said. I also believe that Trump, especially when it comes to the border, has stronger relationships with like Mexico and Canada, and really strengthen those partnerships to get them to help us control these issues. Number 4, why this mama is voting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is more energy independent. He's for more energy independent. Now, I do not believe it is in our country's best interest to be completely dependent upon other countries for oil and goods. Number one, when Russia invaded Ukraine, they said in a very passive aggressive way, they threatened to embargo oil shipments to Europe if Europe tried to place sanctions on Russia. We don't want to be overly dependent upon our goods, oils, and services to other countries. I believe Trump has been very clear about being more energy independent. An example of more energy independent, Trump has been very big on encouraging our companies, our oil companies, to dig here, to make partnerships with our neighbors, Canada, and Biden administration canceled that XL pipeline. The last reason, number 5, why this mama is voting for Donald Trump is a safer world overall. Now, if you do not like him, you might be rolling your eyes at this point, but just hear me out. Number 1, I would like to give credit where credit is due. We had a very big ISIS terrorist problem in our world not so very long ago. Trump was not scared to pull the trigger on the Moab bomb, which went in and essentially killed that big beehive of what was left. The Moab bomb is not something most leaders would have done, but Trump was not afraid to do it. And it was a big sign of strength. And we did not hear much about ISIS since then. So Trump saw weak spots in NATO and NAFTA and tried to speak strongly and make deals in those areas that benefited us. Deals that would enable us to have revenue instead of always relying on other countries. We have a very big debt problem. Our debt is over $34 trillion at this point, and revenue helps pay that debt down. Other countries rely on our American dollar to be strong. That helps support their countries as well. And when our debt continues to rise, then our American dollar is weaker. The last 2 points I want to make is number 1, the Afghanistan pullout that Biden administration did was absolutely ridiculous. It made us look bad. It cost us our reputation. It killed lives. It cost us a lot of military resource and equipment. It was absolutely atrociously executed and very much ruined our relationships and reputation for our military. Biden administration is the ones that were in control when this was executed. The excuse that I remember seeing was, well, this was already in place. We just simply let it happen. The problem is that they were in charge. As commander-in-chief, Biden should have looked at this plan, should have approved it, made changes where changes were needed, and executed it the right way. He did not do that and should still be held responsible for this atrocious event, in my opinion, because now Afghanistan is a failed state and run by terrorists. The last point I want to make is that Donald Trump did advocate for things like NATO, advocated and tried to make deals where other countries would contribute more money, since America is the number 1 contributor to the defense in NATO. I believe partnering countries were to increase 2% of their GDP and let those numbers out there. A picture here, and you can see a link in the description if you want to read more on that. So these are the 5 reasons why this mama is voting for Donald Trump. To recap, an increased academic focus, increased religious freedom, more secure borders, more energy independent, and a safer world overall. I have 2 daughters. I have a loving husband, and I care very much about them and this country and our next generations. And I very much want to see us succeed and be the beautiful, wonderful, strong nation we are and have always been. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
If you would like to sow into this ministry, that would be amazing. I have payments set up on PayPal, Patreon, and Venmo. God bless you. Bye-bye.